Hey again, everyone. Dave here with the Cool Story Show, and here's another quickie for you. Today's topic is Parenthood. I'm joined today by
Andy Spateri,
Alex Granette,
and my good
Trevor
friend
Braye.
Trevor Braye.
Trevor Braye, the new daddy.
That's what actually brought around today's topic is, like Andy said, Trevor just became a new father. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Give us the details.
Yeah.
He turned 3 weeks old today.
Oh.
He was a big boy when he was born. He was born at 9 pounds, 14 ounces, and about 28 hours of labor.
Wow.
So,
Jesus.
yeah, good times.
Does the kid have a name?
His name is Corbin.
That's very unique.
Where's the ounces become another pound?
I think it's 16, after 16.
So where'd you get Corbin from?
Really, it was kind of a name that we both liked, my wife and I, and we just decided that it was a really cool name. The regular spelling would be Corbin, but we decided to go with a K to kind of mix it up a little bit. But yeah, it was just a name that we could both really like.
Certainly a better name than Trevor.
Yes, it is.
All right, so I'm gonna start with a series of questions. I'm actually going to start with you, and then I'm gonna move around to the other guys. My first question for you is: throughout your life, and when you got out of high school and that, when did you kind of see yourself having kids, or what kind of did you picture your life going with children? Did you kind of have them when you wanted to? Did you have them maybe later than you wanted to?
To be honest with you, growing up through high school, I always knew I wanted kids, and I always wanted a few kids. I kind of based everything around when my mom gave birth to me, so around the 27 years. That was when I wanted to, so being 29 now, it was kind of a little bit later than I wanted, but still glad it happened when it did.
Cool. Andy, how do you feel? Like, have you kind of passed it, or do you feel like it's something you want in the future? Or?
When I was dating my first girlfriend, I was like 18 years old, and I was like, yeah, I'll be married by the time I'm 25, and maybe have a kid by the time that I am 30, or maybe like 31 or something like that. So I'm 26 now, and obviously not married.
What?
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I'm not in like a huge rush. Like my mom had me when she was incredibly young, so I wouldn't want to. I want to be a little bit more seasoned in life, I think, before I had a kid. I'm certainly wouldn't say I'd be ready to have one at all. So like maybe 31, 32, something like that. I wouldn't want to be too old as like a father to my kid, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to be at a point where I feel like I'm inexperienced or not ready to handle it. So I wouldn't say I'm past the point where I want to be yet, but in another 10 years or so, talk to me then.
Okay. Alex, same question.
So I'm 23 in October, and I think I'd want to have kids by like what Trevor said, like 27, which is weird because that's like 4 or 5 years away. But at the same time, like a lot of shit can happen in 4 to 5 years. So I like being the youngest of the group. I think maybe by 26, 27, around there. But like Andy said, you're already kind of at that point that you thought you would be, and then it hasn't happened yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if I get to that age and it hasn't happened yet. Should probably start with a girlfriend, and then go on from there.
What age did you see yourself getting like married at?
Before 30. I want to be married before 30. I'd like to have kids and married before 30, but like I definitely want to be married before 30.
And would you want to be married for a bit before having kids? Because Trevor, how long were you married before you had kids, or like with your wife before?
I was with her for 4 years, and then we basically got pregnant a month after we got married.
I'd do that. Fuck it. If I'm going to get married to him. I guess it depends how long I was with them and then got married. If I was with them for like 3 months, then got married, then I'd probably be like, all right, wait maybe a year to have kids. Because, it's one thing to marry someone and you're kind of stuck with them, but when you have a kid with them, it's like you have to at least talk with them at least every once in a while.
Yeah, you're stuck for life.
Yeah, exactly. You don't necessarily have to be together for life, but you're stuck with them in a sense. So,
what about you, Dave?
I actually turn 29 next week, and I actually pictured right around now is when I would start having kids. I was hoping to be married by 25, but
this weekend.
Yeah, buddy, it's not too late.
But obviously, life takes you in different directions. things work out, things don't work out, but I'm definitely hoping before I'm 35 is a good target goal. And then to touch on your question, if I were to get married, I'd say I'd at least wait a couple years, maybe 3 to 5.
Yeah.
To at least kind of enjoy the marriage and kind of do things with it.
That's true.
You do really need to have some time together before you automatically throw in another person, because it's not.
Like
I
three-way.
wouldn't say
or-
it's really Let's not get started on that one. Anyway, it's one of those things where you do want to have the time together before, because when a kid comes, you don't really have time together. It's more
Not
pass
for
the kid
18
off.
years.
One of you is doing laundry, one of you is doing dishes, one of you's changing a diaper while the other one's sleeping. So you don't really
For
get
all
that
our
alone
viewers,
time.
that's pretty much always Trevor, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the bitch.
I usually change my diaper now. But yeah, it's just one of those things where you want to have that life and that
That's kind of why.
accomplishment kind of thing before going on to the next stage and the next step.
That's why I kind of want to get married a bit younger too, is to be able to do some of that fun shit with my wife, like at a young age where
Or
you're
husband.
able to. And then instead of having to wait until I'm like
Alex, you're
48,
blushing.
50 for
So my rule of thumb was like,
Sorry, buddy.
you see a girl for let's say a year, and then you move in with them, and then I don't know, maybe like 2-3 years after that, you get married or something like that. Like,
I agree with that.
sound
Rule.
about right?
Yeah.
I think definitely like you can be with a girl, but like once you live with them, it definitely flips it on its head. Like it's a whole new different thing, which I would imagine like parenthood is the next kind of step in that, or even is getting married the next step in that. Is there a difference between living with your girlfriend and living with your wife?
Oh yeah, like there's not a huge difference in between it. The only difference is now they legally own half your shit. But besides for that, it's basically the same. It's just a new kind of outlook on things. Now, if you're just living with a girlfriend, especially like in an apartment or something like that, if you guys break up, it's not a huge thing. But like you can get around it. They can go to one place or another. If you own a house together and you're married, it's a lot different. It's a lot more difficult.
a lot more lawyers.
Yeah, a lot more lawyers. But it's kind of a tit for tat kind of thing. Like you're together, so if you don't let it be different, it won't be different.
Okay, let's talk about being a father. What did you do before compared to like what you do now? How's life changed in the last 3 weeks?
Let's just say I got a lot more sleep and enjoyed a lot more video games. Now it's going home, and by all means, nothing wrong with this at all. I love doing it. Going home, picking up my son, carrying him around, like even just singing to him, talking to him, trying to calm him down. And it's just, it's kind of like a different kind of love for a child when you go in there. So it's like an unconditional love. You go in and you live for them now instead of just living for yourself.
What's been the biggest kind of surprise that you discovered being a father?
My friends kind of get a little jealous.
Well, we don't get to see it as much, but has anything just really you really weren't kind of prepared for? You've kind of
Not really. Like I said, we're going through high school where I wanted kids. I was kind of prepared for most of the things. It's just I wasn't expecting the low amount of sleep every night. And, just the amount of diapers that you have to change.
How terrible is that?
It's not too bad now. When they're younger, their poop doesn't stink. As soon as they start eating solid food, if they're like breastfed for the first 6 months, as soon as they start eating solid food, that's when it gets a little worse.
Ugh.
Yeah.
any plans for another?
Yep, we have plans for a few, just nothing right now. Probably when Corbin turns 2, 3, we'll plan on having another one.
How many kids do you want, Andy? And do you have any names picked out?
I would say 2. And I have a girl name which I've always liked, which I don't know that I would say because like everyone's just like, oh, your name sucks, blah blah blah. I don't have a guy name, so I'd probably say 2, and I'd say like a boy and a girl or 2 girls. I'm not sure that I'd want 2 boys.
I'd be the opposite. I wouldn't want 2 girls.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I'm
want
the same
two
thing.
girls.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd rather a girl than a guy. I don't know.
I'd rather be like super protective of like one girl than have to worry about 2 of them.
It's the same question for you.
2 or 3, and then like probably a boy girl boy kind of idea, or girl girl boy. I'd want at least one of each, and name wise, kind of. I don't know. I think it's hard probably to like think of a name, and then suddenly you meet the person you have your kid with, and they might like just hate that name. So you have to kind of.
Yeah, I've had a girl name for the last couple of years that I always thought would be like really pretty, but like, who knows what your wife thinks, right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, it might be your wife's name. Like, so
Yeah.
I think the thing for me too though is you run into people like the amount of people we work with, like different people, different names all the time. Certain people make a name or ruin a name for you, and there's so many. There is actually probably like 3 or 4 names that I used to enjoy, and now I hate it because like
that's the whole reason that I wouldn't go ahead and say like the name that I have picked. Just as like it's a unique name, but like on the off chance someone's just like you know, you could be naming your son and they're like, oh, I know a Paul, he was a real dick. Like,
yeah.
you're just like, oh,
This
right.
happens
so
more
is
than you
Richard.
think.
Well, even you, right? You didn't tell anyone the name beforehand, right?
There was a select people that knew it, but the only difference is we were thinking about 3 names. 2 of them were kind of good to go. So the names we were thinking of were Corbin and Max.
I like Max.
Both of us like those names. When he was born, though, we looked at him and we said, he's a Corbin. He's not a Max.
Would you do Maximilian or would you do Max?
Maximus. No, just Max.
Maximus would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, you have to meet the kid first before you can fully name them. You can have a name picked out and good to go, and then the day that they're born, you look at them and nope.
That's not true, because I know a friend of mine who, at the point before she even
Saying
knew
they
she was
could.
having... Yeah. But she didn't even know if she was having a boy or girl. She had, like, the whole name picked out, which is... Some people are like that, I guess.
Do you agree with the name you were given?
Trevor?
I'm kind of glad I was given my name, because if they didn't call me Trevor, they were going to call me Woodrow. So now Woodrow is my father, but being called Woodrow or Woody Jr., Little Woody, you know, there's just so many dick jokes that I didn't want to hear growing up as a kid.
Hey, it could have been Archibald.
Is that what you were going to be?
No?
Oh. I was like, Andy's good. Are you happy with Andy?
Yeah.
Are you happy with Dave?
David, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, because, like, me and Dave have, like, short names, and no one ever really called me Andrew, like, my whole life.
Well, I have a short name too, technically.
Yeah, no, I guess, yeah. It's weird that...
Alexander.
Yeah.
It's weird how that works, because, like, you can, you know, you've named your son Corbin, but maybe he goes by Cor, like, his whole life or something
But he
like
could go
that,
by hardcore.
Oh.
Oh.
Did you see when I
Only
changed?
in the porns.
I used to always like Alexander, and then in elementary school, when they started to make you sign your name or write it in cursive, I realized how much longer Alexander was. I was like, fuck it, my name's Alex. Like,
You just couldn't spell Alexander.
yeah, Alex.
And you never liked Lex, right?
No, I
What about Xander?
Xander, no. Don't like that either.
Durr. Pretty sure. Durr. My name's Durr.
I'd rather Dur than others.
Cool. Does anyone have any other thoughts they want to bring up?
Trevor, it's weird that you're the first of our, like, group of friends, I guess, to have
I don't know
a
why you
kid.
think
Like,
that.
He's been the
Obviously,
longest-term
I'm the
relationship.
most mature. Definitely the most.
That's true, yeah. You can't see this chair, but it's buckling right now.
So is the floor.
And that is another quickie.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and congratulations on the birth of your son.
Thank you.
Yes.
Look forward to meeting his uncles on the Cool Story Show.
Thanks again. I am Dave. You can find me at DaveMeyer7.
Spiteri316.
Gurnett A.
And if you want to find Trevor, if he knows his Twitter handle,
I don't.
that's
It's
his Twitter.
at T Braye. Jesus Christ.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave us comments in the section below.
Let us know what you think about being a parent when you were thinking of having kids. Thank you for tuning into the Cool Story Show.
Good night.